What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Are your codes compatible? Not really relationships. I just mean people in general. I believe everybody has a code. Okay? Some people's code is, the principles. Some people's code is loyalty. Some people's code is honesty. Some people's code is manipulation. Some people's code is dishonesty. Some people's code is superiority. Some people's code is money. Like everybody has a code, right? And you live by your code, your creed, your code, whatever. The question is your code compatible with the people around you? Because I think a lot of the conflict that goes on with people and a lot of the um, coupling that goes on with people has to do with their codes. Like people could be of two different codes and could be in the same family, could be friends, could be acquaintances, could be spouses, could be co-workers, just in general. Like your codes mix or they don't mix. And I was wondering about that because sometimes people just want to hang out with certain people because you know they get along, and sometimes people just want to hit somebody in the throat with an aluminum baseball bat because they just don't get along. And I start to believe it's because their codes don't mix. Like a person whose code um, deals with principles and a person whose code deals with manipulations won't mix because a person will be standing to a principle whether it puts them in a good or bad position, but a person whose code is on manipulation is just out to get what they want to get. So they'll spin it whatever way to get what they want to get. And human beings have a boiling point or breaking point where, yo, it's about to go down. Flip side, you might have a person whose code may be, you know, principles, another may be loyalty. And they might mix well because as long as you down, we good. As long as you stick to your guns, as you said you were, we good. So they can see eye to eye on common ground. It's not saying everybody's gonna always be right or everybody's gonna always be wrong, but they have a common ground that they have together. So they can get along. Because right or wrong, at least they stick to their guns, right? Now, the question is, since society's code is so forked tongue or ambiguous, where we'll say one thing and do another, do one thing and say it means something else. Like nobody could just. We live in a world where you can see what it is, and that's what it is, and somebody say that's what it's not. Or you could do one thing and say, well, no, no, I didn't do that because of this. I did that because of that. It really doesn't matter the reason on some things. You did something that you either had the right to do or you had no business doing. And consequences are so far and in between. I was reading a post somebody put up that, a person lying to the government is a felony. The felony, the government lying to the people is politics. And if it starts from the top and it goes down, if the government has a flaky code, then the people have a flaky code. Okay? It's just in a societal instance. You get what I mean? So you start to wonder to yourself, okay, who's actually are we actually on the same team? Or are we actually in the same uniform and everybody's out for themselves? Now, for some, that's a good question. For others, that's a dumbass question. But it's still the same question. You get me? Now, and that's because of your code. Now, I bring this up because everybody gets to a point in life where they have to make the decisions that's best suited for them. And whether that's cleaning house or adding people to the house, you do what's best for you, because ultimately you are the one you're living for. So to a degree, a certain amount of selfishness is not a bad code, but self-centeredness probably a bad code, because self-centered people will bring people around them to make sure that their focus is on them and them alone. There's no reciprocity in that. So, you know, a self-centered code and a giving code would seem like it will mix, but it really don't, because the giver's gonna expect reciprocity, because the giver knows how giving feels, and the giver wants to feel like that also. So at the end of the day, when you're dealing with people, I'm just asking, do you mesh well, or do they mesh well with your code? I'm out.